Howdy folky dorkies. I've had this idea for a while to, I get lots of ideas and stuff, and you can link up blogs below about all that kind of thing, but I just like to share my ideas around because stuff like this, I don't know how much impact I can have on the world with it, so I figure if I get it out there, someone might be able to do it. Because I'm not, a lot of my ideas kind of come around cars and that kind of thing, and the environment and that stuff, but because I used to be in love with cars and like design and stuff, and still kind of am, but I've focused on more important things in life than cars. Anyway, let me get to this idea. So you see, this is an automobile. This is a sedan. You know, blah blah blah. You know, you've seen cars before. There's cars all over the place. So I had this idea, like you have the indicators on a car. Now this, I think this car might have a red indicator actually, which is a good example here. Brake lights are red. They're red for a reason. Red is a color that people can see easily. That's like why like some laser pointers are red. It's a color people can see. That's very important, and it's striking, and people are just meant to understand that that's like a warning. So brake lights are red. Indicators, if you can see over there, a little orange. That's an indicator. It's also a reflector. They're yellow. They're yellow amber kind of thing. Now in America, it's a little weird. Some cars, I don't know if it's 50-50. It's probably like a 60 or 60-40, 70-30, with the 70 being yellow, amber, I don't know, or orange if you want to call it, colored indicators, and you know, the 30% or whatever being red. So you see quite a few, like if you see some cars over there, I don't know if you can see them, but you probably can't even see them, but anyway, so I believe this car might have red indicators. There's like a brake light here, and the indicators here, which I don't like the red indicators because they interfere with the brake lights. If you're braking and indicating at the same time, it might, like if you're sensible, you can see it, but you know, it might be a little confusing. If there's different colors, then you can see it a lot easier. So my idea is, and I mean this has not changed in many years. I can see the pretty old truck over there. They have really like just a sliver of brake light over there, and then this one's a bit bigger on the side, but still is not enough. And I think this is a brake too. Some cars have them here. Anyway, I've had this idea for a while. That the whole side of the car would be illuminated in orange, and I know that that's kind of crazy. It might be kind of expensive to implement and that kind of thing, but like a lot of cars, they'll have indicators on the mirrors. Sometimes just on the corner here, sometimes all the way along, like Mercedes has it like all the way along like that, which is a great idea. And some cars, like I think Escalades and stuff, they'll have a little arrow thing here, which is cool because if you see from a car, like if you can see a truck's or a whatever's mirrors, and they're mostly on trucks, there's little arrows on the mirror thing. If you can see, like if you're behind a car like this, you can kind of just see that sliver that they're going to go that way, like, and it's kind of noticeable. But it's more noticeable, like, because obviously if you're back here, you can see this. It's more noticeable if you're like on the side here, you're driving next to the car, and you see that, and you're like, oh, okay, they're going to be turning, and you don't want to get in their way, that kind of thing. But seeing as a lot of expensive, you know, what you see on expensive cars trickles down to the cheaper cars eventually, and even more exaggerated than that, what you see in a Formula 1 car will trickle down as well. Now we're not going to be driving Formula 1 cars around, but things like the KERS technology in like a lot of the latest Formula 1 cars, that when they brake, that energy goes to a battery and stores it to make a turbo thing for the Formula 1 car. Priuses do that to generate energy in their batteries, so you don't have to use the fuel engine as much, which is, it's a great idea. Every car should do that, because there's so much braking. Like there's four-way stop sign here. There's so many four-way stop signs in America. In Australia, we mostly have roundabouts, which you have to stop at half the time, but half the other time you just brake a little and you just continue through it instead of braking to a stop. And that's an extremely loud truck. Thank you for that, sir. Yep, thanks. It's great. Too many loud noises like that. Anyway, so with LEDs, like BMW, Mercedes, and Audi and all those kind of things, they have sweet LEDs and stuff on the cars. Like Audi has this cool, like, light that goes up here that's like LEDs on some of their cars and that kind of thing. And you can see on the front here there's a yellow bulb in there for the indicator. This is a reflector here, and there's your headlight. People know this, of course, but I just imagine if you have, like, if you had, I don't know if people have seen this before, but on the latest MacBook Pros, there's the indicators for the battery are on.
I was actually referring to the sleep light on the front of the computer. As you can see, the battery light here, you can see the little holes, whereas the sleep light, it just looks like a flush bit of aluminium, and then a magical little light pops through it. It's pretty cool.
The side, but there's no holes in the body of the aluminium. It's just laser etched, they're like lasered holes, but they're so tiny you can't see them with the naked eye. But then when the lights are on, you can see light coming through the aluminium. So it's like awesome. Imagine if you had all these laser drill holes along the side of the car, and like, so you couldn't even see it like up close or anything. I mean, like, you can kind of see speckles from the paint here, like from metallic paint or whatever. Imagine if that's all you could see, and then so you wouldn't notice anything until like someone put their indicator on. The whole side would be illuminated in yellow or orange or whatever. And then I think this would fix the issue with, you know, not noticing if people are turning or not, because some people's indicators are just like terribly small and that kind of thing. And also there's the whole red indicator thing, which would be an issue. And then if someone's like, if we're behind a car, or no, if we're on the side of a car like this, and like we're facing them and they're going this way and whatever, and they're turning right, and we're looking from this position, you wouldn't be able to tell they're turning right at all, really, ever. Like, unless you can maybe peek, unless if you're at this angle and you could peek through and see the mirror on the other side and the mirror had a little arrow in it, it'd be quite difficult. You don't know if they're going straight or if they're going right. So, I think fixing that, you could, the LED laser etch magic stuff that I've come up with with my brain, you know, there'd be a row of them up here. And imagine if just if the person was indicating to turn right, imagine if just this row at the top would be illuminated, and not any of the panels or anything. That would be quite interesting, and then you would know if they're turning right. Because I was contemplating this last night when I was writing up the idea on my blog post. That how could you tell if they're turning right? Like, what would you do? Like, have an arrow like pointing that way on the roof? But you still, if you're sitting in like a low rider, you wouldn't see that. And then I thought, like, you could say the words right on the side. Like, you could write any kind of words on the side. Like, if there was an emergency, like pregnant, oh my god, I'm gonna die. That would be helpful. But I thought, you know, words could be, you know, someone might hack their thing and say F you, and that would be stupid. So if it was just like maybe along the top, meaning that like only meaning that like, you know, if it was on the bottom, it would be like, yeah, going left. If it's on this, just this little sliver across the top, it'd be like, well, the other side is actually illuminated right now with orange, so understand that. I think this would help a lot. I mean, and I also know that, you know, it may cost quite a little bit more. But drilling holes and, you know, a little extra layer of manufacturing can't cost that much more. And I understand that it could be very bright, but you can maybe tone down the brightness of the LEDs or something. I don't know, but like, I think it being bright would be important. And you know, LEDs last forever, so it wouldn't be much of an issue of them, you know, having to be replaced or anything anytime soon, that kind of stuff. So let me know your thoughts on this. I've kind of been thinking about this for a while, and also the same thing could be said for like the brake lights. You could have laser etched in here, and the whole rear end could just be red, intense, crazy when you brake. I'm not sure, you know, you wouldn't want to do anything crazy like that with the headlights, because if you know you go into oncoming traffic, You don't want to be blinding people, and some trucks these days really blind you with their regular lights. It's been crazy. And trucks meaning like SUVs or whatever. They call them trucks here apparently. Just my little idea. Let me know if you think it's sensible or not. I just think it would, improve the world. But by the time that kind of comes around, cars will probably be driving themselves, and we won't need to even worry about indicators or anything anymore, because they'll all interconnect and talk to each other, and not need anyone. So yeah, that's my little idea. Indicators on the side, just illuminating the whole side of the car. I hope that has been descriptive enough. Doing it in a video. I've also got the text on this blog post as well. So, cool, man.